Hey everybody. I've got a head cold, by the way, so I'm going to be coughing a fair bit during this. Sorry. I don't really have too many subscribers, and I don't really have that many people on YouTube that actually follow me all that much, so I don't have too many people to talk to about this, but a bunch of stuff's happened in the last year or two, not the least of which is I am being forced to be going through a divorce. I'm not happy about it at all. And it's easily been the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But if you're a good friend of mine, you already know all about that. And if you're not, then frankly, that's all that I'm probably going to tell you. Don't really need to discuss a whole lot more than that. Because of that, I've had to do a lot. I've been going to counseling off and on for quite a while. I have looked into psychological studies on things. I've consumed a lot of content on YouTube for it. I've read a lot of articles about relationships. I've talked to a lot of people about relationships, good and bad. And there's some things I've learned for sure, and there's some things that I suspect are the case, but I don't know those necessarily. And then there's some stuff that I'm pretty sure is just goofy and wrong. Some of the things that I'll be talking about in future videos will include topics that typically you find more on red pill content. Things like, I don't know, Pearly Things channel, or Fresh and Fit podcast, or whatever podcast or something, because some of those people have some pretty interesting perspectives from time to time. Some of it's other people altogether that are just straight up, therapists and whatnot. Whether it be sex therapists or Christian counselors or any number of people. Some of it can be from my own counselor that is pointing out some things to me. It's going to be pretty all over the map. I'm not just going to go off with a bunch of crazy red pill content and call, oh, women are all just, terrible people, or men are, or whatever else. I think that's a blatantly stupid oversimplification of a lot of complex problems. But every once in a while, people do have some pretty interesting perspectives on stuff, and I'm probably going to be hitting a few of those. This one in particular in this video comes from a YouTube channel. I don't remember. Hacks, maybe. I don't remember. In any case, it's Dr. Orion something. I can't remember his last name. Sorry. I'm trying to give you a shout out. Just not working too well. And he had a whole video on something. Not necessarily in the terms that I would want to use, but he had some good points. And this one's kind of dedicated to guys who used to be a lot like me, who we couldn't figure out something. In retrospect is pretty obvious, but I mean, at the time, we really are just clueless. We don't know. And that is that women have two lists. And if you're a woman and you think you only have one list, bear with me. I promise that you don't. What do you mean by lists? Well, when you ask somebody what they're looking for in a romantic partner, typically what is asked is you are given a list of qualifications. What does a man need to provide for you? And you can ask this of men or women. What does a woman need to provide for you? What does a man need to provide for you? Who do they need to be? What are their qualifications for being in a relationship with you? What are the qualities you look for? And women will, and by the way, if this isn't you, it may not be you. This may very well not be you. This is in general, okay? I already know that I'm going to get at least one comment, but not all. That's a terrible argument. I mean, yes, but not all. Okay. Yes, but not all. Like, humans have 10 fingers, but not all. Yeah, some people are born without them due to genetic defect. Some people get them blown off. That doesn't make the statement humans have 10 fingers as a characteristic of humans wrong. Okay, so with that out of the way, yes, not all, generally speaking. And in my experience, it's been every woman I've ever met. Literally all of them that I know. I'm not saying this is you. This is the women that I have met. They have two lists. They have the one that is actually the one they'll give you. And it's the one that they understand. And it's the one they can articulate and write down on paper. And this includes things like, though not necessarily in this order, this may not be your list, dependable, responsible, with time and money, affectionate, emotionally available. If she's really aware of herself, she might put taller than me. If she's either shallow or honest or a combination of the two in the right, Venn diagram of everything, she might also put how much money he makes and such. I don't begrudge any of these. Everybody's got their standards. I don't really care what's on your list. For all I know, drug dealer can be on your list. Cool. If that's on your list, that's on your list. I don't care what's on your list. But this is the list you give. Okay? And here's what happens is you have this list of things, and, being nice, being, a cat lover, whatever. And some guys will see this list. It could be a guy friend of yours, it could be a guy you're on a date with, it could be anybody. It could be anybody at all. It could just be a Facebook post that you just put up there. A Twitter post, something. X now, I guess. And you'll have that list, right? And there's that stuff that's on it. What will almost never be on that list. It sometimes makes it on the list, but what it will very rarely be is attractive. And really, that needs to be the very first thing on the list. Now, what do I mean by two lists? Well, the second list is the things that you find attractive in a man. Or woman if you're a lesbian, but we're going to keep this relatively simple. We are talking about most women and most men. Okay? Guys, you'll see her first list that she will give you. And you'll go down the list, and you'll say, check, 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 check. And you'll check off everything on the list. Or at least 9 out of 10 things or something. And you'll think, hey, that's me. You're looking for me. Awesome. You want to go out? And she'll say, no, thank you. And you're confused. But this is your list of what you're looking for, and I'm on it. You said this is your list right here, top to bottom. This is what you want, and I'm all of that. But you don't want to go out with me. Yes, because as Dr. Ryan says, that list is only for people she's already attracted to. She has a second list. The second list is kind of the hidden first item in her stated list. Sometimes hidden, sometimes not. And that is attractive. Here's the thing about this other list. Some of the things on that list, definitely not you. Definitely not you. They may include, but are not limited by any means to superficial things, such as height, weight, facial hair, hair color, eye color. Things you have no control over. And frankly, neither much does she. People are physically attracted to who they're physically attracted to. Nothing you can do about that. I mean, if you're a guy, yeah, you can go to the gym, you can bulk up. Okay, I mean, you can do that. If large muscles are on that list, or if you're a big fat guy and she likes, less fat guys, you can slim down. If that's on that list, and that's real high on the priority, that will help you. It may not be sufficient. It won't hurt. I mean, you should be healthy in general. Like, I'm not Mr. Universe myself, but I try to be reasonably healthy. That having been said, that will still probably only take you so far, because there are other things on that list too, and she may not even be fully aware of all of them. I mean, it could be how you smell, it could be your body language, it could be how you carry yourself, it could be how you inflect your words, your tone. I mean, there are so many things that go into what a woman finds attractive in somebody. And so many of those things, some are very intransigent, and some are completely in flux. And some things that a woman last year thought she would never be attracted to whatsoever are now she's wildly attracted to that in you. She's not actually attracted to that in you, if that happens, by the way. What she's attracted to are other things about you, and she is adjusting. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is true. And men and women both do this. I'm just talking to the guys about women for a minute. She's adjusting how she presents and what she likes to meet your expectations. Yeah, it's not genuine. People do it. People feign interest in all kinds of things to get with somebody they're attracted to. I've done it. Everybody does it. Like, don't try not to be offended at that. It's very flattering, actually, that somebody would pick up an entire hobby or interest in a topic or something that they aren't really interested in. Now, the problem is, because it's disingenuous, it won't last. Not forever. Some things they will, if they genuinely do enjoy that after they begin exploring it, then yeah, it'll last. But if they don't, it won't. Be flattered that they tried. It's not bad. Just understand that it happens, and that's what's happening. But whatever it is that's on the list of things that make you attractive to that person, in this case, guys, what makes you attractive to that girl, that list is not going to be assailed by this list. This list is what she's attracted to. This list is what she's looking for in a partner. She only cares about these things if you're already on this list. How do you get on this list? Oh man, I'm so sorry. I can't tell you. Neither really can she sometimes. She's either interested or she isn't. She knows within 5 minutes of meeting you in person. On the internet, it takes a little longer. On the internet, it might be a video call, it might be an audio call, who knows. It might be a few days, it might be a few weeks. Because she's not really around you, she can't really see you, she can't really smell you, she certainly can't touch you. Internet, that's rough. It's hard to know. In person, 5 minutes. She knows if she's attracted or not. It might be 5 seconds. I mean, you might walk in being the handsomest dude in the room, and it may do you no good at all. It doesn't hurt, but it may not get you anywhere, because you could rub her the wrong way and not even know it, and everything seemed great, and you start talking about your life, and she's always talking about hers, and pretty soon in your head, you're thinking, depending on what kind of guy you are, you might be just thinking about trying to smash, in which case, you might get there, I don't know. But if you're looking for relationship stuff, you might start being like, man, this woman is great. She's telling me her list. I'm on it. Doing good. She's pretty. God, she smells nice. I wonder if our babies would be cute. All kinds of crazy stuff might be going on through your head. Don't worry, it's a hormone thing. Happens to everybody. No one can admit it, apparently, but it's true. I'm here to tell you the truth. I don't really. I'm not here to be popular that way. I'm just telling you what it is. But the fact of the matter is if man, this list is nice. Like if you can get there, that's cool. And a lot of women, man, their lists are some of them are honest and self-aware, and those lists mesh a lot. But if you're not meeting the attraction list qualifications, the rest of it isn't going to help. And it's okay. It's okay. Don't. Try not to be upset by it. It's not easy. I mean, especially if you're a soft-hearted relationship guy. I am. You know, what do you want? Companionship, help, all that. You know, you might think, hey, you know, I'd be a really good partner for somebody. I'm on that. I'm on all those boxes. You know, that would be that'd be a good partner. You know, maybe not 100%, but yeah, I mean, I'm good. You know, you want somebody hardworking, studious, smart, funny. I'm on there. You want somebody religious that cares about morals? Good. You want somebody responsible to take care of kids? It's me. You might be anywhere near it. You might be on all kinds of parts of that. But if she's not attracted to you, thank her for the company. Be glad that you had a nice night out. Tell her good night and expect to not ever get a call back. Also expect her to never tell you that it was because she wasn't attracted to you. Some women will tell you. I have had women tell me. It has happened. It's about a third, in my experience, will straight up tell you. Most of them won't tell you exactly why. Odds are, if you're a guy, that thing that you're insecure about, that's probably why. It's not always that. Sometimes it's something else. But it's probably that. That thing you were like, I know if we were together, I'd be really good to her and she'd be really good to me and we'd make beautiful music together, but I have this thing. I have a lazy eye. I have crooked teeth. I have, I've got pock marks from when I had way too many zits as a teenager that I couldn't control. I'm really short. I'm overweight. I'm too gangly and tall, even though I've tried gaining muscle. It just doesn't work. I have a speech impediment. Whatever that thing is, there's a good chance that's why. It might be that you have body language that says you're real uncomfortable. And you probably are. You're on a date. You're going to be uncomfortable. And as much as you might think, well, I mean, but she should realize that. I mean, of course. Well, I mean, she does. But you got to understand that she can't just turn that off. It's okay. It's not as easy now as it was 100 years ago. Where literally just being a decent man that cared and that could provide and protect was good enough. women are attracted to and expect and demand more. And the ones that don't are probably the ones that you don't want to be with either. All those women that you find on whatever app it is that you're on, all the ones at your local, church group, your singles group, all the women at your club that you see and sometimes maybe even talk to, but then have no real interest in whatsoever, they're also not on this list. So far as I can tell, the biggest difference with men is that we're a little bit more obvious with our list of attraction. We're also considerably less picky on specifically looks. Like, we do care. It's a very strange overlap of priorities. Men care a lot about how women look, to the point where, we can draw it all out. We can give you height, cup size, pant size, BMI, whatever. If we understand whatever any of those measurements are, we can draw you a very good picture of our ideal woman and the range of too much one way and too much the other that we're willing to put up with. And it's very wide. It's a very wide margin for most men. Women care less about looks, but the looks that they do care about are very important to them. And they have a very narrow range, typically. I personally know some women where that is not true. But I also know some where it's extremely true. And who have either, when I was younger, turned me down for a date, or did not turn me down for a date, but then definitely didn't give me a second one. Specifically because one flat out told me I wasn't big enough. Not in the amorous way, but wasn't big enough just in my general frame. I just wasn't big enough. I was tall enough, barely. I'm like 5'11", but that still qualifies for some women as barely tall enough. She was short, by the way. She was like 5'5". I consider that short. Anyway, I think 5'7" is like kind of tall for a woman, and then after that it starts getting really tall. But 5'5" is like on the short end of normal. Nevertheless, my height was basically fine, but she just really needed some dude. She didn't care if he was kind of fat or super muscular, whatever it is. He needed to be massive in some way for her, because she wanted to feel like she was smaller and well taken care of by him. And she was a bigger girl. She was overweight. Because apparently that's the overwhelming majority of women that I can attract at all, to get the time of day of at all, frankly, is overweight women. Some less than others. And I've made a lot of compromises on that from my ideal, but it is what it is. But nevertheless, that was going to be hard for her, because, again, I was on this list, man. I was there. She told me, flat out. She was brutally honest with me at the end. We had been talking for weeks before we met, and then we met, and that was it. That was the end of the matter. But she did, man. She told me, guys, I'm here. All the way down. Not big enough. Didn't matter. So, the challenge for men, the thing you need to keep in mind is, one, they don't have a lot of control over this one. The points on this list go all the way down. I mean, it is what it is. You can be mad about it if you want. It's not going to change. I mean, and you can't change your mind. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can do. Unless the problem is literally just they need you to put on more muscle, in which case, go to the gym. That's what you can do. That's it. That's all you can do, though. And you might think, well, I shouldn't have to. I would be a good husband. I don't need an arbitrary level of muscle and strength to get a woman. Okay. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, after a certain point, then yeah, muscle is kind of useless. Like, how much do you really need to live in the modern world? You're not wrong. But if that's the thing that attracts her, that's what you need. And with most women, not all, there's a point at which it's too much, there's a point at which it's not enough, and if you're not in that zone, you're done, man. You're toast. There is no way that date was gonna go where you wanted it to. Sorry. And if it's not physical, if it's how you if it's how you speak, if it's how you hold your body weight, if it's how you smell. I mean, obviously you can change soaps and whatever, but if you just give off a vibe she's not into, you're done, man. Give it up. Next one. Next. That's what you got to do. It doesn't mean she's a bad person. It doesn't mean she's shallow. She might be, but it doesn't mean that. You might be shallow. I mean, I don't want to go out with overweight women anymore. It's not because I hate them or I find them disgusting. It's just I've done that. It hasn't worked out. And that's just not what I'm looking for anymore. I in my list, and I only have one, I don't have two. In my list, I have reasonably fit and healthy. Because that's what I want to do. I want to have a reasonably fit and healthy lifestyle. I want her to do the same thing. I mean, in an ideal world, I want someone to encourage me to work out more, not less. That's going to be difficult to take seriously if she's, very overweight. Now, if she's a little overweight and she used to be more overweight and she's currently losing weight, well, that's a different story entirely. That's great. Encourage that. But, that's on my list. Sorry to all the bigger girls who would otherwise make great wives. I'm single-ish, separated anyway. Will be single in February. Not loving anything about it at all, but that's how it is. Embrace reality. Dreams die. Embrace reality. That's all you can do with it. Yeah, that's okay. The trick, guys, is become two things. One, somebody who is reasonably as attractive as you can be. Do what you got to do. No matter how bad off you are, physically or otherwise, do what you need to do to become attractive. Do what you need to do to become indispensably useful. I mean, I'm still going to counseling. I'm doing martial arts again. I'm pouring through self-help content. I'm doing a lot of reflection, trying to do some more praying. A lot of stuff to get ready, best I can. That's what I do. That's all I can do. Become somebody who is attractive in every capacity you can. find somebody who meets your list and who thinks you're attractive. That's what you can do. Caveat, unless all you're trying to do is smash. If all you're trying to do is smash, all you need to do is to pretend, find a way to pretend like you're attractive. In which case, you get to take the easy way, which is to be a lying manipulator. All you have to do to get laid is lie to women as much as you bloody well please. You don't need to respect them at all. If what you want is sex, lie to them often and frequently. And frankly, tell big lies, not small ones. You don't really have to worry about treating them all that well. It depends. Do you want to just keep having sex with them, or is once enough? It's not that hard to find a woman who just wants to have sex for the sake of having sex. If that's what you're in for, hey, that's what you can do, man. You still have to make yourself attractive, but you only really have to be externally attractive and a little bit charismatic and as dishonest as you feel like. In which case, you could probably have sex. I mean, and you can be a short, ugly dude. If you're dishonest enough, superficial enough, and know that all you care about is sex. In which case, yeah, you can probably go out and do that. Not a problem. Pick up some chick at the bar who's already half drunk. Lie to her a lot. Tell her you make a lot of money. That'll most likely get you laid once. With her anyway. And you have to do it again with somebody else because you're probably not going to be able to do it twice. But if that's not your goal, I recommend working on a lot of internal self-improvement stuff too. Try not to be attached. Don't be attached until you should be. And that's really vague advice. Sorry, I can't be more specific with that. It's kind of hard to know when you should be attached. But yeah, no, I mean, if you want a good relationship, be honest, be forthright, make yourself attractive. Find somebody who's on your list. Can't find anybody still because they're not on your list or you're not on theirs. Then you're single. Simple as. It's just how it's going to be. But that's okay too sometimes. Have a good night.